There's two of the highest teams on the ladder right now, two of the most known teams. Like we have two BlizzCon champions and the teams are speechless, and of course we have Minpoike, Raikou, both second place at BlizzCon in the past, and was like this new upcoming, very pronounced rogue in the European scene as of WoD. So we have a incredibly strong roster for both sides, playing completely different compositions as well. We've seen the Turbo Cleave versus the RMD a few times. Of course, the matchup has changed a little bit this patch with more damage, and certainly more damage on the side of the Turbo Cleave with the warrior buffs. So this should be a very even series, and we're gonna look forward to some incredibly high quality gameplay here, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm curious to see Reawakened's kind of spitball all-in attempts. Like, even when they see Shamanistic Rage, if they think they can get the kill, they go for it. So I really want to see that kind of play from Reawakened here against Speechless, and see if Speechless are left speechless. Reawakened's going pressure.
Dude, you took one out of my book with that one, man.
Come on, that's not that cringe.
It's not that cringe, come on. Alright, here we go. The game is about to start. It's a combat RMD, Rogue Mage Druid against Speechless's Turbo Cleave. Here we go. Game 1.
We can see RMD in stealth at the moment, completely invisible to their opponents. Jamie trying to get a cheeky rain of frogs. That will actually pull them out of stealth if they walk into it, but I'm not able to get it. Blizzo and Jamie playing towards the pillar, and Looney actually playing very far away. Interesting positioning from the Turbo Cleave. Typically you'll see them stacking up, but Looney's deciding to stay away. That means he is going to be able to avoid a sap much easier. Blizzo actually bladestorming and finding Raikou. Great bladestorm from Blizzo. And now Looney should be able to safely come out of stealth with an Iron Bark or something like that. There's the Iron Bark on the defense, but they have to overlap it with the Shamanistic Rage, as this opening damage is just so high from Reawakened. So much damage on the Jamie. He's just dying through it. They're just cutting through him like butter, down at 29% HP. He's forced to pop the Ancestral Guidance and Ascendance Healing, trying to desperately recover. Looney now forced to trinket out of the blind, and suddenly Reawakened have forced way more cooldowns that would have been expected. The next setup could actually end the game.
Yeah, they have to be a bit careful though. Now they don't have their CC available. They're swapping everyone to Kibba, and they do get the Vigilance and the Bark Skin there with that swap. That's very good for them. Now Kibba has nothing, Jamie has pretty much nothing, and Reawakened looks super strong, but they do have to be careful. Waz dropping down to 20%. He used a lot of cooldowns offensively there, and the preparation wasn't available, meaning Minpoike had to trinket out of Stormbolt to save Waz there, but they just need to survive a little bit longer. I feel like Jamie can die for sure next setup. They step in, they want to go right now. There's the Gouge. They just want any CC right now. They know how much trouble he's in, and
What?
they're charged by Blizzo, and Raz is in so much trouble. He shrieks out of the bash. The Iron Back comes out. He looks like he's going to be okay. The Deep Freeze comes out, but Sheep will be DR should it land. And he does land that DR Sheep. I'm not sure it's going to be enough CC. They need the Cyclones off this. Will Minpoike be able to land them? A nice Stormbolt coming up from Blizzo, which they will stabilize. A good Blade Storm, preventing Blizzo going into any CC there. The Shamrage comes out from Jamie, but the team will survive for now. Looks like maybe that Gouge from Waz was a little bit too fast, because Raiku's DR Sheep wasn't quite enough CC for them to land the kill there.
Yeah, Waz is trying to be careful here. I'm not sure if he still has his preparation for another evasion, because he could be a very easy kill target with Minpoike having no trinket. A bash and a Stormbolt could just end Waz's life here. A pre-Iron Bark play from Looney is going to pay fruitful here. He's got a Mushroom down. He's got full hots. Really well done from Looney with this Iron Bark, but Reawakened have the cross CC. How long can they keep this chain going? There's another Sheep over onto Looney, but they drop the chain on Blizzo. He's able to stop Minpoike from cloning. Now Minpoike forced to run. He gets charged on his Blink. How much more damage can they really commit to him? Doesn't look like too much, and he didn't even have to bar skin there. So Minpoike escaping, playing a little bit greedy, but getting ahead because of it. Mana could be an issue here. Both sides actually down to about 60%. Waz seems to be the primary target for now. But with Killing Spree available, Jamie has to be careful. Here's the Smoke Bomb getting dropped. Raikou looking for a Deep Freeze. He lands the Ring of Frost. There's the clone onto Blizzo, and Reawakened once again need to juggle this CC chain. Really good clones from Minpoike chaining it onto Blizzo, but unfortunately he dropped the ball on the last one, and now he's eating a full fear with no trinket. Waz has gotten to a stun, could easily go down. Caught into the half bash. That should be it. Barely survives. A miracle happened to keep Waz alive.
Yeah, they committed the blind there as well. They get the trinket from Looney, so they actually got some offensive stuff going there at the same time. I can't believe he survived there, but well played by Minpoike, and was just about managing to stay alive there. The Iron Bark came out there as well from Speechless. They were probably expecting the kill. They just wanted to commit a lot of things, but actually, if you look at the situation now, Jamie and Looney have nothing. This could be the game. If this sheep lands, he's going to land it. The kidney comes out a little late, which means that Raikou does get stopped on his sheep importantly, but the clone comes out from Minpoike. Great coordination between these two. A nice reflect from Blizzo means that no sheep follows up the clones. Excellent play from these DPS, meaning that the sheeps were stopped onto Looney. That was very important, but an excellent Cyclone comes out from Minpoike, cycloning Jamie up low. Can they get anything off on Looney? They need something. They need a stun. They need some sheeps. They need to get something on him for them to land this kill here. There is no trinkets available, but there is a Shamrage now. The bash comes out into the full sheep. Excellent job by Minpoike and Raikou coordinating that. That does force the Shamrage. Another sheep coming out off that. Can they get the Cyclone? They can. They're chaining their CC so well right now. The cheap shot on Blizzard. Can they land a sheep off that? They're going to get such good cross CC here. The Recyclone. Jamie's in so much trouble. Down to 20%. The rallying cry comes out. Will it be enough? It doesn't look like it. The deep freeze comes out. He's down to 18%. Surely he's going to go down. The rallying cry is going to fall off so soon. The thing comes out. There's no NS available. He's down to 15%, 30%. They're actually going to stabilize this. That was insane. I cannot believe they survived that.
Yeah, Jamie pulls off a miracle. Trade a miracle for a miracle. That's fair. Waz looking like he wants to try and get a re-stealth, but nice Fire Novas from Jamie are actually going to prevent him from re-stealthing. Now Waz is caught into a charge stun. Maybe they can get his trinket with a Stormbolt. Doesn't look like it. Waz, nice defensive shadow step back to Raikou, getting out of line of sight. And I like this play. Minpoike should try and sit down for a drink and bait the Turbo Cleave into their clutches in the back here. And he's either going to get mana or he's going to bait someone out of position. So this is smart play from Reawakened. And Blizzo is kind of going forward. Maybe they swap on him. Looks like a cheap shot instead. Gouge onto Jamie to set up the kidney shot. They land the Ring of Frost, but they have no CC on Blizzo. What can Blizzo do really to save his team right now? Doesn't even look like he needs to do anything. This is the adrenaline rush out from Waz. Is he, I think he's having an issue. He's
jumping up
jumping
and down
in place.
They're both jumping up and down. It looks like Minpoike might be not playing right now, but they don't care. They're just going to take them out, as there is no replays as soon as those gates opened. And Reawakened, they had so much momentum there, but it looks like they are going to be falling to a technical issue. That is really unfortunate.
That game was so back and forth. Like Waz surviving on what 5% in the DR Bash. Minpoike just about coming to his rescue. His Black Knight, so to speak, but then or his White Knight rather, should I say? But then obviously Reawakened had their kill opportunities as well. Like Speechless was solo and cooldown so many times, and they always just about survived. Like either Blizzo could do something that would cut up the CC chain, or Jamie could trinket share. Like they always had some answer just about to keep Jamie alive, despite some of the excellent cyclones coming out from Minpoike in that game. And it's an unfortunate end to the game, of course, but hopefully we'll see a nice series following on from that.
Yeah, I'm really interested
Playing
to see.
to win isn't against the rules either.
No, it is not. Not in the least bit against the rules. Yeah, I mean, like, to be quite honest with you, I mean, in that scenario, the game has gone by so late. Like, that they were so late in the game that I wouldn't put it by anyone not to wait in that scenario. But yeah, it's really unfortunate. As soon as those gates open, the game is to be played out. So yeah, that's just unfortunate on the end of it. It would seem Minpoike, I think it's Minpoike, as there's quite a few emotes pointing to him from his teammates. So we're gonna see what's going down. Make sure to give your energy to Minpoike if you want him to be able to fix the situation and come back and compete. We're gonna find out what these guys are gonna be doing here very soon. That was game 1 of this best of 5 series, so there's no way Reawakened is out of it just yet, but being down a game is definitely a big deal, especially when you're fighting for that semi-final spot. But yeah,
I'm so sad because that game was so exciting. I hope that he can sort out his issues. I'm fairly sure he can. I think Swedish internet's quite good at that kind of thing, should that be the issue. But we're probably going to see the absolute maximum amount of delay time used possible by Reawakened. They really, really want to win this series. I know from personal experience and knowing them personally that Waz especially would definitely want to win this so much. So it means a lot to these guys for sure. They're certainly not out of it. It's only one game and there's no best of 3s here. We're all best of 5s. So they have a very, very good chance of coming back into this. And that was just such an exciting game to watch.
oh man.
I really wanted to see this played out.
Me too, man. What the heck? But your confidence in him being able to come back and compete gives me confidence. So I really hope he is able to do that. And I also am extremely jealous of him for having better internets than me. But it's okay. It's all right. or they're going to go ahead and start utilizing their delay timer to jump back into the action. And, you know, this also gives both these teams opportunity. Now, looking at that game, I don't know. If I was the Turbo, I would be a little bit concerned about going into game number 2 here. Like that, I feel like there was a lot of opportunities where the CC just felt like it never ended because they were so good at just like chaining it off one another and being able to communicate whether or not they are or aren't going to be able to land their CCs. But yeah, it's all for naught if they're not able to get back on.
I agree. I mean, let's assume they can get back on because it's more fun to commentate it from that point of view for sure. Like we look at Reawakened now, we see they have their map choice. There are a lot of excellent maps they can pick so they can get those resets. Because the only real pressure on them, I feel like, was Minpoike's mana, and perhaps they were struggling a little bit to land that drink on this map because it's a slightly smaller map. Maybe if they can go to Tolvaron or something.
Oh.
Like we do see Tolvaron actually as the map selection from them. So
it literally
if they
popped
can go to this,
as
maybe
it
they
left
can...
your mouth. That was crazy.
It's I don't know, how should I call it? Like psychic or something
Yeah,
like
I would
that?
say that's pretty psychic, dude.
But maybe they're hoping to get those resets on this map because I think they can play a long game as well as the short game that they almost won.
Yeah, and this map will allow them to reset much more safely. And it's not even so much that the reset is safe for them to survive. The turbo cleave kind of needs to be like, we have to push. How do we do it without dying and still trying to accomplish getting a kill at the same time? It's easier for the turbo cleave if the RMD is just playing on top of them, just setting up for kills over and over and over, never running away. It's actually easier to try and maybe get a kill, kind of like we saw on Waz as he was pushing forward. So on this map, I would like to see the RMD kind of rotating away when they've forced a cooldown out, rotate away for a little bit. Try and set up a drink, maybe bring it into dampening, because I feel like you can make dampening favor either side depending on the momentum, what cooldowns are up. But I'm curious to see how they decide to play it. Big map selection, smart decision. As a melee cleave, they can kite them out and open in long lines. So a smart move from Reawakened. Let's see what they can do here. They're all in stealth. We see a cheeky rain of frogs again. Not going to find anyone, though. Waz moving forward, looking for a sap, giving a sap up Jamie. Blizzo blade storming right away, and nice read from the first game. They knew that Blizzo blade stormed the sap last time, so they're going to wait and re-sap him again. Cheap shot on Blizzo. He did pre-reflect the cheap shot, trying to prevent a clone on himself. Really well done. And he's going to gnome racial out of that stun, looking for a Stormbolt onto Minpoike. A lot of pressure potentially onto him. He's really not reacting. I'm curious if he's... I think he is DC.
Oh, no.
That's such a shame. Blizzo played that opener perfectly. I feel like he instantly got the blade storm, and then after that he pressed reflect straight off it, so it meant that he wasn't able to get cycloned off of the cheap shot. I think such plays are really useful from him, and then of course he did use the fact he was out of CC to charge and Stormbolt, so it was a really nice opener for the turbo cleave. But of course it's not going to matter too much given the DC condition.
Yeah.
Which is of course unfortunate.
I am so curious to what's going down for on the side of Minpoike if he's able to come back from this. Now, luckily for him, this is a double elimination tournament, so if he does end up having to go down to such unfortunate circumstances, he is going to be able to try to rectify the situation and come back in it through that lower bracket if he gets knocked out by Speechless here and now. But this is not how you want to go out, not in the least bit. Somehow, some way, Reawakened's got to figure their stuff out and jump back into the games, or Speechless is just going to get a free ride to the semis.
I mean, being down 2 games in this matchup is really important because maps in this matchup mean everything. Like, having that big map now gone is a huge disadvantage. Now you have to beat Turbo and Runes, you have to beat Turbo and Dalaran. Those are both their favored maps. You really only have Tiger's Peak, kind of, to cling to. Maybe Blade's Edge. I honestly haven't seen that matchup played out too much on Blade's Edge. Maybe you could make it work. I feel like you could put the Turbo in a defensive position below the bridge or something like that, and then pull them up on top when you're trying to set up for drinks. So maybe Blades might be better than Tigers.
Man, Tolvarad, man, that was like the one. That was like
they need
that's what
the most important map.
Yeah.
It really sucks that that happens to them on that map because that's the map where they should be winning, or like they have the highest probability of winning. I feel like they can play a long game there, you can play a short game there because they're RMD. Of course, they can win the game at any point if they set it up correctly. But Yeah, we'll have to see what they can do to pull it back. They've got a really uphill battle against them. But like we said, if they were to lose this series due to unfortunate events, then they would go into tomorrow anyways in the lower bracket. They would hopefully have time to fix those issues, and yeah, they could for sure get back into the tournament. These three great players, of course, two former BlizzCon competitors, was a regional competitor who's been dominating the ladder a lot this expansion in Europe. So there's no reason why they couldn't come back into it. But I'd really like to see them play the series if it was at all possible.
Yeah, I really wish we could.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm really actually bummed that this is happening because I really wanted to see this played out to its full potential, but I guess things happen. Reawakened, you know, if they're not able to come back now, they still have that lower bracket to fall back to and a day 2 to get everything ready. So it's not only that they have that lower bracket, they also have an entire day, or entire night, I should say, to get everything situated. So hopefully they'll be able to do just that. But yeah, we're going to be jumping into the last game of this series, or potentially the last game of the series, shortly, I'd assume. I'm just going to assume the best, always, right? Just stay as positive as possible. But we also have that round 2, the second series of round 2, which is the Yacht Boys versus No Ladder Players. And that will be the last series of the day. Just a reminder, we'll be jumping right back into these games tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Central European Time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and 9:30 a.m. Pacific Time. Sorry, it skipped out of my brain there for just a second. But yeah, so I guess this is a good learning experience for these players competing in the GCD Pro League, is that it's really important to make sure that you have you know, everything protected moving forward into the tournament. And you know, I can't really necessarily blame them for not necessarily realizing how vulnerable they are, because I mean, there's no tournaments, right? But now there's tournaments. So moving forward,
it seems too coordinated to just be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But they do have other opportunities, and looking forward into today, like we still have, of course, this series of No Ladder Players against the Shadow Play and RMD from Miley and Co. We do have to look at that and say that's going to be quite an interesting series, because I had a long conversation with No Ladder Players because they had some administrative questions coming into today, and I was able to talk to them for several hours, in fact, about those kinds of things. And one of the things that did come up is that they're quite confident against this team. They say they have really good stats on the ladder against the Shadow Play, which traditionally might have been one of the harder matchups for them. So I'm certainly looking forward to seeing if they could put those words into action in the series that's coming up next. And I think that's really one to look forward to as well.
So it looks like Minpoike is back in the game, but he might be stuck in the arena still. So he's probably just going to have to wait for that to time out. So we do have potentially a game to look forward to. That would be phenomenal if that's what's going on. And not to be like completely like, I don't know what the word is, but if Reawakened comes back from this and wins 3 games in a row against a team like Speechless, I don't even care. I won't wait for the sub goal. I'll eat a ghost pepper for that. That would be insane.
Oh really?
Yep.
You're gonna need a new sub goal there.
I'm putting the money on the table, man. I'm putting the money on the table. I said it live, man.
We're gonna need a lot of Reawakened energy right now. Give Waz, Riker, and Minpoike your energy, because I would love to see that. That would be an excellent end to the stream today. If you have the ghost peppers on your person, or
oh no, I'd have to bring them for tomorrow, but no, they're not at the office right now. But I do have them at home.
I see this distractions.
No, but yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. As soon as I said that, I was like hesitant to even say that, and now I got like instant regret. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. you know how that happens.
It's like it's the Twitch logic, right? Like if you want something to happen, then the opposite's gonna happen. You know, like you put yourself a lot on the line here. I really hope you can stay online for this series now.
And this is like one of this team is looking so strong when they are online. Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, it's so hard for me to stay positive now. I'm just like, oh, I really don't want to eat a ghost pepper. All right, but anyway, we also have the Yacht Boys and the Ladder Players, and that's going to be the last series of the day. We're going to be picking this back up and going all the way to the finals in day 2, which starts on Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Central European Time. Healing Stat is holding it. I want to read what that guy said. Healing Stat is holding it down, very knowledgeable. Yeah, dude, he owns. Better call the hospital and order a new sphincter beforehand. Oh, don't say that,
they have
man.
one in reserve.
Oh my gosh. Alright. We're getting a map choice from these teams before jumping into it. No Tolvaron, though. So I have that going for me in terms of the Ghost Pepper. But, I don't know. I feel like if you want to put, like, money up against someone, you don't do that to Reawakened. That's, like, not the team you do that with. Okay, but
yeah, I feel like Reawakened's normally one of the teams that you wouldn't be betting against. I mean, they've had a little bit of bad luck in the past, but there's certainly 3 players that you wouldn't want to bet against right now, especially with this roster. But we're gonna see whether your sphincter's gonna be intact or not over the next half an hour or so, I suppose. So.
Okay, what?
Oh, here we go.
Use that word?
Sphincter.
Are we allowed to use that word? Is that PG-13?
I think so. I used it like 3 times, so I apologize if not.
So, yeah.
But here we go.
We have some Twitch admins in the chat.
Alright, here we go. It's Reawakened versus Speechless, game number 3. And the question is, can Reawakened stay in the game long enough to give Speechless a run for their money, man? I don't know.
I think that they're gonna clean sweep them because you just said that.
Oh my gosh. Don't say that, man.
I'm just calling.
I actually have so much
it.
anxiety right now.
I mean,
oh my god.
Fopsies, I was not wrong about Fopsies. So I think I can feel this.
I just want to hear the tremble in your voice if Reawakened win this game.
Oh
right.
my god. I'm
waiting.
just gonna go AFK and just have Hannah commentate. And... god.
Okay. 4K looks to be online. He's moving.
Yeah. This team's looking promising. They do have their mass stealth, they have their triple stealth on right now. The Rain of Frogs comes out, it's not going to find anyone. Fire Elemental from Jamie. They're just standard preparations for the openers. The Shroom's down for the turbo, they're just waiting. Blizzard's probably going to unleash that Bladestorm in the very near future. The sap comes out, there is the Bladestorm. He's trying to find people, but again, Reawakened calculated well. They play the mind games there. Far, far, far away. We're going to see the reflect off that. From Blizzard. It looks like not this really slow opener. Was trying to reach Blizzard for the cheap shot. He gets the Stormball on the cheap shot. That's really good for Speechless, and Waz is in trouble. Instantly, the full fair comes out. He's down to 40%. The Icy Veins comes out. They're trying to counter pressure, but they're not gonna. They actually do land the rob. Excellent job by Reiko. I can't believe he landed that. Actually, a double rob that hit Blizzard as well. And Jamie's now in a bit of trouble. Down to 50%, 30% with that Sham Rage up. The DR sap comes off. Can we see a cyclone off that from Mimpoke? It doesn't look like it. The Ascendance is chunking him so far out of the game. He's going to just have to kite away. But they do get a bunch of cooldowns there. They did get the Trinket from Kirbo with that blind, as always. And the Sham Rage and Ascendance and all those cooldowns, really, from Jamie. And the fact that there's no offensive cooldowns on the turbo really means Reawakened should be looking offensive right here. And I'm pretty sure they are. It looks like Waz and Raikou are ready. Raikou does have his damage available. Waz is building up his stack, so he does have the killing spree available as well, and it looks like they want to go right now. They're looking to end this game. Perhaps the Deep Freeze comes out, the gouge into the kidney, trinketed by by Jamie, but there's no CC off that by Looney, so it looks like Speechless are going to be okay for now.
That trinket was very important here, and now they're able to bring some pressure on Mimpoke, who I believe is...
Ooh.
No, he's there. He trinketed and blinked away. He was just maybe trying to be greedy, but he will survive that swap. But being down his trinket is very important. They can land a full fear the next time that it comes up. Maybe set something up onto Waz, depending on if they can get his trinket with the next stun here. Moving forward, seems like Waz is the target for now. We see a offensive, almost predictive dab by the sword, but he's actually going to get cloned on the kidney shot, and I wonder if that was a mistake. Bash over into Jamie. Now they're going to follow it up. I mean, Dab by the Sword is now over, and Blizzard's getting swapped to and just getting annihilated. Rallying Cry comes out. Is that even going to be enough? It's going to fall here shortly. We see Blizzard trying to Bladestorm any incoming stuns. Looney did luckily get this Ironbark off just before the clone landed. I think that Ironbark's going to reduce just enough damage to keep Blizzard alive here. And now that he's survived, he can bring some pressure onto Waz because they managed to bait Waz's trinket. And now with a fear coming up pretty soon, maybe they can land a full fear on Mimpoke. Cross, you see it with a stun. We see Waz just getting annihilated in this bash, down to 20, down to 19.
He's down
He's
to
in execute range, but he's dodging all the executes with the evasion.
evasion's
He's still
almost
so
over.
low. Another
Another
evasion.
evasion.
Oh my god.
Wow, was really coming out there. He almost died through that first evasion, the stun coming through, almost killing him, but he does have to prep and use the second one. So they are very low on defensive cooldowns right now, but the same can be said for Speechless, who are very low on trinkets. The Shamrage is now available again, but look at Blizzo, he has very little cooldowns. The Vigilant comes out as they're going to swap it onto Lily. They might just kill through that. The Vigilance and the Buckskin are active, but he's down to 15%. He might just go down to 4%. The NS comes out. He's still only at 20%, though. The Stormbolt on Waz is going to save his life, and he is going to stabilize right now, but they did force pretty much everything there. The Trinket, the Barkskin, the Vigilance out from Blizzo, and Looney is in a lot of trouble right now. You also have to look at Blizzo though and think they could potentially swap it over to him. There's no cooldowns left on him either, and this looks really, really good for Reawakened right now.
Yeah, here comes the setup. Triple CC. Blizzo could easily die. D-Machine might be eating a Ghost Pepper if they can get a little bit more damage, a little bit more CC. They get the ring. They get the clone. Nice fear from Blizzo, though. It's going to pause the game for a couple seconds. Raikou basically has to solo him right now. He's doing a good job so far, down at 29%. Deeping Looney now out of the CC, but unfortunately he got that Iron Bark up again. Is the Iron Bark going to be enough? Die by the sword at 4%. Raikou's looking to finish him off. Raikou still has to solo him. He has to solo him for that last 10%. Waz unable to attack through the die by the sword, and Raikou's just not able to do it. Blizzo's getting out of line of sight. He's barely going to squeak himself over there and stay alive, killing the water elemental off for now. And there's so many close calls in this match that you're just like on the edge of your seat. We see a Stormbolt over onto Minpoike, trying to build some pressure onto Waz, but they still have to be careful. There's still no trinkets on the entire team. Jamie's probably the safest target right now. Jamie's probably going to be the one that's leading forward more than anybody else here. But Waz is looking pretty deadly. There's a full sheep onto Jamie. Deep freeze on the Looney. Here's the triple CC. Raikou connects the Ring of Frost. Now, can they finish off Blizzo? He really has nothing left to stand in the way of death. He's going to charge forward on Minpoike, try and interrupt any incoming Cyclones. Nice Stormbolt. Going to deny it, but I don't even know if they need it. Raikou and Waz are doing so much damage. We see the Enrage regeneration, but with no CC continued onto Looney, he should be able to deal with the damage. I mean, Waz is dishing out quite a bit. We see a heroic leap over onto Raikou. He's going to blink away from that right away. Good kiting from Raikou. They're getting a lot of pressure here. Minpoike's mana situation kind of tied with Looney, but you don't really want to be tied as the RMD counterpart in this matchup. Waz fully hotted at the moment. He knows that Waz is going to be the main target here. A swap over onto Jamie. They're going to use the Shamanistic Rage. Bit of an overlap with the Iron Bark as there was no crowd control, and because Deep Freeze is still available, they're going to go for it now, but a full fear on Minpoike is going to stop any cross CC. That full fear from Blizzo is very important to stop it. We see Minpoike looking for a clone, but he's going to get it regardless. Didn't look like Winter was available, forcing that die by the sword out once again from Blizzo, but he gets kidneyed. I think he shot a step right behind him and landed the kidney shot, forcing Blizzo to trinket. Now going for the Blade Storm. He's trying to immune any more stuns, but it might not matter. Looney's being greedy. He's trying to sit through the CC. Rallying Cry comes out to boost his own HP. We see the NS out from Looney, and he will recover. Looney's greed is going to keep his team alive for now. They have to be careful. A swap over to Minpoike. He's going to trinket right away, but he's still just taking so much damage. The Turbo dishing out so much. Minpoike on the run, just camping that bear form, doing a good job as they swap the pressure over to Waz, but Waz has evasion. He should be able to deflect this pretty easily.
And Reawakened were really close to a kill there. Excellent presence of mind by Blizzard to actually Stormbolt Minpoike on the Cyclone rather than Stormbolting Waz on the Kingsbury to stop that follow-up CC. And it looks like they actually stayed. Oh, Minpoike almost goes down. And he does go down. Wow, I did not see that coming. I was looking at Reawakened. They were starting to set up their CC again. They had the CC on Blizzard, but Jamie pretty much soloing Minpoike. There's so much damage coming out from this Turbo Cleave, and that was such a close game.
Wow, Reawaken really showing, like, when they're able to stay in the game for the entirety of it, they are able to just put on the pressure to Speechless, and Speechless has got to be feeling that pressure for sure, but Reawaken, it's just too little too late. Unfortunately, they already were down 2 games, and they will be dropping down to that lower bracket from Speechless, and I am safe of a Ghost Pepper, but that was so scary, dude. There was so many times. Oh my god.
There were so many times where Raikou was just desperately trying to get that kill, desperately trying to destroy your colon, but he couldn't quite do it. He couldn't quite have the damage. Like you could see him casting frostbolts in the face of Blizzo or in the face of Looney, just trying to finish the game, but he couldn't quite finish it off.
All right. An unfortunate series, but it will end as Speechless moves forward into the bracket. Taking a quick look at that bracket, we have the Yacht Boys versus no ladder players next. The winner of the series will be moving on to face Speechless in the semifinals, and the loser will drop down to face Troll Jargon.